Greetings, everyone, and welcome to today's BIZ Info Zone show. My name is LYNN HAWKINS, and I am the founder and creator of the BIZ Info Zone show and the BIZ Info Zone. And today we've got some special stuff happening with us, to me, to my guest, who is actually going to be interviewing me. So, again, you are in the BIZ Info Zone where the savvy social entrepreneur can express their purpose, plan their next moves, and take your business and your life into prosperity. That's my P3 philosophy of doing business and for doing life, and I am so excited that you've joined me today. I am, once again, LYNN HAWKINS, and I mentioned we're going to be doing something a little different today, and that's because I've got a guest interviewer who's going to be interviewing me, and that is the fabulous Trish Samson. Trish is the owner of My Coastal Muse. It's an online coastal living and lifestyle business. And she is amazing, and I'll tell you why. Because she's an artist, she's an entrepreneur, and she's a business coach. And she helps mainly women entrepreneurs to get started in lifestyle businesses in coastal areas across the country. She's focusing right now in the northeastern region because that's where she's from, the sunny state of Rhode Island. So I want to introduce you to Trish. I want to invite Trish on because Trish is going to be hosting our show today. And I'm just ecstatic that she's here. Hi, Trish.
Hi. Hi, Lynn. Hi, everyone. I'm Trish Samson from My Coastal Muse, and I'm really excited about being your guest host today. On the show today, I'm going to interview my dear friend and colleague, Lynn V. Hawkins. Some of you know things about Lynn, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. The first thing that struck me about Lynn is she is also known as the money girl. And when I met Lynn, I said, I really have to get to know this girl. Maybe some of that will rub off on me. So, yeah, she is the money girl. She is the principal business strategist of Skyhawk Enterprises. She's a former six-figure senior executive for Fortune 1000 and cutting-edge mortgage banking firms, including Fannie Mae. Lynn's love of business comes from her 30-year background in commercial real estate and business lending. Her expertise in business and organizational development, team building, and career coaching, process developing, grant writing, we all like to know about that, training and strategic planning as a top corporate executive, and for small business clients. She has proven the ability to develop transformational businesses and strategies with ease. It's her gift.
Thanks.
Utilizing, you're very welcome. Well, you know, one good turn deserves another. You talked me up, so I'm gonna make you have to live up to something grandiose.
Well, I will do my best. Honestly, thank you. It's actually really great to be on the other side of the table and to speak to an audience that I'm usually the interviewer. And, you know, this isn't unfamiliar territory for us either because you've interviewed me before on your own show. And it's great to be sharing this space and talking with you about something that I'm very passionate about. So thanks.
You're very welcome. Today, I guess she's going to be talking about how to help small business owners to understand and bring something called social entrepreneurship into your business. She works with a heart-centered and purpose-driven passion and entrepreneurs to move through the challenges of business development and growth. She teaches, coaches, brings you through writing, revising business plans, expanding your business vision, and strategizing to design the plan for doing business bigger and more efficiently. LYNN is also adamant that business owners learn the strategies and actively apply for grant sponsorship money, business credit, or a business loan when it meets their business needs and goals. She's a speaker, a teacher, an author, and a business mentor. She actively shares the message of empowerment and success in business through creating purposeful profits, manifesting absolutely everything you desire in business and in life. So welcome, LYNN. I am happy to host and interview you today.
Thanks, Trish. I'm really happy to have you host me. One of the things that we've talked about in past is how, my message of empowerment, especially for women entrepreneurs, is in the doing to help people to grow. And I'm just so excited to have this opportunity to give back to you to host the BIZ Info Zone show today. So thanks.
You're welcome. It's pretty cool. It's going to be fun. Well, LYNN, I want our audience to know that you're going to give us the inside scoop. 3 ways to bring more cash into your business venture. If anyone thinks that selling their products or services are the only ways to bring in revenue, she is going to show us how you may be missing out. Get your pen and paper ready and take notes, because I think she's got some really good stuff. Listen up and listen in and make sure you get all of this. LYNN, tell our audience a little bit about how you began your journey, how you decided to focus on heart-centered and purpose-driven entrepreneurs in the work that you do.
Wow, well, thank you. It was a revelation to me the day that I really could sit back and say, this is my mission in life and my mission and purpose in business. And having gone through a 30-plus year career in commercial real estate, working my way up into executive management positions, teaching teams how to effectively interact with each other for the total good of not just the team, but our clients, our customers. I basically have brought that into the work that I do now with solo entrepreneurs and multiple entrepreneurs, with for-profit businesses as well as nonprofits. And in doing so, I have to tell you that I'm just amazed at the number of opportunities that are available for us that we don't even think about as for-profit businesses. One of the struggles that I saw, even as a commercial real estate lender and a commercial real estate salesperson, as a property management person, was that small businesses that are in a position to lease space have the same issues as small business owners who are home-based businesses or businesses that have moved from office space or retail space or industrial space back into their homes. I've seen the large contractors who, because of the economy, have moved from having these really nice office spaces and multiple people on payroll to taking their construction business back to square one where they started years ago. And what I learned is that there are a couple of things that could be put in place, and especially can be put in place now in today's economy, in today's business, that will help business owners to do bigger business, do business with more ease. And, you know, we're in a time now where really the collaborative efforts, the co-creative efforts of business owners are what's going to cause major success. So my journey has brought me through a lot, including, you know, the personal side that merges into the business side. And, you know, as an entrepreneur, you basically have to know how to not just balance the two, but move the two forward. Because as a solo entrepreneur, especially if you're working at home, you're in a solo, single, alone environment, you really need to be a part of communities that can help you to expand, can help you to not just grow yourself, but grow your business. And we're going to talk about that today because I think that there's some things that folks are missing out on. And I want to bring that information to the forefront.
Well, tell us, what are we missing out on?
Well, Trish,
what do you mean by this? What kinds of things are we missing out on?
This is key information, and again, I believe that every entrepreneur should know this. And it's not just about how you're operating your business. A lot of entrepreneurs think, well, you know, I'm an out-of-the-box thinker, I'm an innovator. However, I'm going to talk to you about two things in particular. One is how you operate your business, and that's one of the keys. The other key is the relationships that you establish. And you say, okay, well, I know that. I know that it's how I operate my business, and it's about the relationships. I'm a great networker. I hated it at first, but I learned how to make it work for myself, and now I'm pretty comfortable in that environment. I'm making things happen. But I like to think of things in horticultural terms, and I love this because I know that you kind of get where I'm coming from here. All about, you know, planting seeds. And, you know, I just mentioned about how networking is the beginning of building relationships, but the networking is the planting of seeds. And those seeds require nurturing, and they require the essentials like water and sunlight and continued involvement, you know, stirring up the dirt, so to speak, so that you can nurture those relationships. And thinking in terms of business, your products and services are the seeds that you plant. The beginning of new relationships are where you plant those seeds. And nurturing them is what you do to grow your business and to grow those relationships. So what entrepreneurs may be missing out on are these three things that I'm going to talk about, and that's more cash coming into your business. More cash coming into your business and you doing less to make that happen. And that's a thing called leverage. I love leverage. I was telling somebody yesterday, they were explaining to someone else about the concept of leverage, and I just had to chime in. I love leverage, and there are so many leverage opportunities that allow more cash to come into our businesses, and we're just not thinking about them. We're not thinking of them, and even if we've heard them before, we haven't really figured out how that might work for us. So I'm hoping to have a little bit of that kind of conversation today.
Good. That's terrific. It's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, definitely aligned. I know that I work with growing gardens and being intimate with nature and coastal living, and those are my things, and helping entrepreneurs grow coastal businesses is something that I also love to do. So I share in that thinking, and now you've talked about three ways to bring more cash. Let's share the one with us.
Okay. You know, it always amazes me how much I have grown in the last few years, how much my knowledge has really expanded as I've been in environments where some of the biggest mentors are teaching on things that they've designed as their niche and focus. And one of those is in regard to the first way that you can bring more money into your business with the least amount of work. Leverage. And that is affiliate income. Excuse me. Now, I also know that a lot of people say, well, affiliate income, I give affiliate income, I make affiliate income, but are you actually looking at affiliate income as a source of revenue? If you're not, you want to. And let me tell you about a couple of instances and a couple of people that I've happened to meet in the last, I guess, year. And actually, I want to tell you about one of the most recent people that I met. I was really amazed by this person because she's a multiple six-figure income earner, and she does 100% of it in affiliate income. There's a term for those kinds of people, and they're called super affiliates. They actually scout out in affiliate realms, ClickBank, JVZoo, etc. And those are two that I'm very familiar with, and that realms that I play in. So I'm not just familiar with them, I'm, in there and looking to do some of the things that she actually has done, and she's starting to teach people to do as well. But she, as a super affiliate, derives, can you imagine this, deriving multiple six figures? That's like more than $100,000. That's like $200,000 a year or more just in affiliate income. So she's got a wide database of people who she markets these affiliate products to, and she has a particular niche, and she searches out the opportunities that provide affiliates with their products, and it's actually so beautiful because with affiliates, the affiliates that you want to work with, you want affiliates who have your copy scripted, so that all you have to do is copy and paste to send out however you're going to send out, via email, social media, whatever, Twitter, Pinterest, however you're going to do that. They've already established that for you. And then the links to the products that have you in it, so that when a person does actually buy that product, you can get paid. Now that sounds really simple, and it really is. The amount of work involved in that is far less than what you would be doing in your own business. And if you had the opportunity to bring in an additional $10,000 a year, or what about $10,000 a month, might you want to figure out the strategy to be able to bring in that kind of income? And we can talk about, well, I gave an affiliate link because I got invited to participate on a telesummit, and I gave away a product, and I'm giving 10, 30, 50% to that person as host, and that's beautiful. That is a piece of what affiliate income is all about. But suppose you had a place where you could go and say, gosh, I love creating all of these things for myself, for my clients, and to basically sell myself, part of my product creation. But what if I could supplement that with things that other people have already done, that I can add their stuff to what I'm selling, and I can get an income? Am I going to lose clients because of that? Are they going to steal my clients because of my establishing that kind of relationship? Should I be fearful in any way that I'm going to lose in that regard? And that is typically the thinking that stops people from doing more in the realm of affiliate income. Whether you're a for-profit business or a nonprofit business, affiliate income is something that you can take advantage of and have as an additional stream of income. So I'm really doing this to put not just the ideas about this, but a couple of ways that you can do that. I mentioned ClickBank. I mentioned JVZoo. They've got it set up so beautifully where you can find the things that are complementary to what it is that you're doing and go out there and become an affiliate of, market those along with your own things as additional things, or maybe even to, depending on price point, give as a bonus to something that you are, a program that you're selling, and have that affiliate income come back to you. So that was way number one, affiliate income.
Wow, very, very interesting. I think we're all going to get started on looking into these sites right away, JVZoo and ClickBank, and did you say a few more?
No, those are actually the two that I play in, so I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, that's good. That's enough to get me in trouble for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting enough trouble there. Yeah, that sounds like that would be a really awesome way of bringing additional revenue to your business without having to do a whole lot of work. Trading hours for dollars can be a challenge because there's a finite amount of them.
Been there, done that, trying to get away from it, and this is definitely one of the ways that you can supplement that which you're doing in your own business.
Yeah, I like the idea very much. Well, you said there's 3 ways. 2 more? Got 1 more?
Yeah, I do. I do. Well, you know, way number 2 is actually joint ventures. And okay, I hear people already saying, you know, joint ventures, I've heard that before, I'm doing that, and I'm looking for great joint ventures and joint venture partners. And what I would tell you is that think of joint ventures in a different way. Think of joint ventures in a way that is really more of the creative, collaborative, co-creative vehicles that once again is going to put you in the realm of creating what I call, what a friend of mine always says, triple win situations. And those triple wins are not from the racetrack, joint ventures to get.
Oh, darn it.
But they are things that will put your client and customer base as the first winner. It will put your JV partner as the second winner, and it will put you as the third winner. And I say it in that order, but I say it also to say that because you are the last in that, it doesn't mean that you are the least. And I think that that is part of what I want to share as well, because as we're looking to grow business, a lot of times growing business impacts mindset. You know, I remember having a client that wanted to grow to a 6-figure business, but she had no clue that what it was that she was doing could actually make her 6 figures in a year. And it was through opening her mind and opening her heart to listen to some things that she had not thought about for her business that actually showed her she could make more than 6 figures in her business. And several things that we designed as part of that income opportunity for her was through joint ventures. Now, many people think that, you know, in joint ventures you want to find somebody who is serving your niche yet not going to compete with you. And I say that that line may be very thin as to competition. And I say that because competition implies competing. I'm doing better than you, you're doing better than me. We're going like this, versus collaboration being more of the let's do this together. And so with joint ventures, I believe that you could have even someone who you've characterized as a competitor in your collaboration, because there are always some differences. Now, is that going to bring you to the biggest and best outcomes? Maybe, maybe not. You really want to weigh that out. But don't expand your joint venture opportunity so far apart from complementary that you're actually moving in two different directions. Complementary actually brings you so close together that the line does meet. There is no competition, but there is cooperation and complementary. What I do complements what you do, and a supportive outcome comes about. Your clients have what you provide for them, and they may or may not have what I provide. My clients may have a need for what you provide, although in some instances our mix may cross. And we want to give ourselves the opportunity to do that, but to be very clear about when we do cross, what we're going to do with that. When we do cross, if that's a client that I know you provide that same type of service, what we're talking about in this joint venture is something that we really are complementary. If that client needs what I do and they're talking to you about it, be mindful and refer that client back. Allow that joint venture partner to have the conversation, to be able to say, you know what, this does fit a little more in with what it is that you're doing on that side, and maybe that's a better combination. Because let me tell you, that kind of energy allows for so much more to come into your purview, into your realm of work, that while you even may think at first that you're giving up something to this other person, what it allows you to do is open up space for something bigger. Maybe instead of that one client who is a little better served with working with your complementary joint venture partner, it opens things up for you to have 2 or 5 or 10 more clients, where had you attempted to hold on to this customer, are you serving that customer? Are you serving yourself? Are you serving your joint venture partner? Is that really the triple win? And I want you to really think about that as you're thinking in terms of joint ventures, and expand into that level of authenticity and honesty and collaboration that will happen for you. So that's way number 2, joint ventures.
Well, I think that it's an interesting thought that we somehow have to retrain our instincts or our thinking to be from worried more about competition and to think from a perspective of abundance and everyone helping each other. It's it definitely can only bring good things back from the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could, I mean, there's lots more to say about that for sure. but I know you want to move on, and I know that we have a limited time, so I'm going to poke you again and say, all right, what's number 3?
Well, number 3, and this is where I really get excited about playing. This is one of the best ways to bring cash in, and it's possibly one of the most fun ways for you, too. It's called fundraising. And a lot of for-profit business owners think, okay, I can't do fundraising. I'm not a nonprofit organization. The law for contributions does not preclude for-profit businesses from bringing gifts into their business. Now, the thing that people kind of disconnect with is the thought that if you want to allow someone to make that gift a tax-exempt contribution, a charitable contribution, as a for-profit business, you can't make that happen unless you're aligned with a nonprofit organization. And in that alignment with a nonprofit organization, you then have created the ability that whatever fundraising you do, you can now offer that benefit to any donor. That whatever contribution that they make is a charitable contribution, and because of that charitable contribution, they are then able to deduct it from their taxes according to what tax laws provide. Now, with fundraising, there's all kinds of strategies around it, and I get really enamored by it because it takes me to a whole nother place of thinking. And it takes me into a creative space that allows me to do some musings of my own. And when I think about fundraising, and let's just take, for example, My Coastal Muse. My Coastal Muse wants to do some fundraising, and it is in order to purchase some equipment for the business. A new laptop, a new printer, and office supplies. And you've put a dollar amount of $5,000 to that, and that's what you want to fundraise for, okay? How can you do that and do that in a way that is, number one, something that's in the frame of gifting and donor contributions and collaboration and opportunity? Well, My Coastal Muse might host a telesummit. And that telesummit might mean that you bring people on who are giving something to give to guests at no cost, yet at the same time you have a donation button there because you've launched this fundraising program for equipment for My Coastal Muse that's going to benefit your entire audience. It's going to allow you to upgrade the amount of information that you have on your website because you've now got a laptop that has an entertainment system built in, and you can, you've got 16 gigabytes of storage on this laptop that allows you to now bring to your audience 10 times more than you could have previously. You've got the ability to have, graphics that will help your constituents, to help your clients and customers to get work done that, they come to you for graphics work, and you can do that in a fraction of the time because now you have this new equipment. And, for a $10 contribution for that, from, 500 people, that's your $5,000. Now, that's pretty darn good, especially if it's something that you can talk about in terms of the benefits to your community for doing something like this. And, there are a lot of, and these are now called even crowdfunding and crowdsourcing opportunities. And it is actually the way that a lot of savvy business owners are bringing additional funds into their businesses. One of the things that we're doing as a collaborative is a co-author opportunity, and we are actually fundraising to help defray the costs of the publisher's costs. And in doing so, we've designed a website, we're taking contributions, we've aligned with a nonprofit, and we are asking for donations to assist these co-authors in bringing this book to life that has so much more than just being a book that's going to go on a shelf after being read. It's actually a book that will be studied by young girls and young women, old women, women in business. It's a book written by women entrepreneurs for women entrepreneurs, but the way that it's written goes beyond the benefits for women entrepreneurs. And so when I talk about fundraising, there are numerous strategies, and I am just so grateful for the chance of expanding the consciousness of the for-profit business owner to understand how fundraising activities can be utilized to bring funds into their business. I've worked with an entrepreneur who did a fundraising campaign to raise enough money to pay the initial salary, the first quarter salary, for someone that they brought on as an employee in their business. They actually brought him on as an independent contractor, which saved a lot of additional expense, and yet they were able to provide someone with a job. I worked with another client who needed a huge piece of equipment. They were in construction, and they did a similar type of job training program where they were actually able to get government subsidy for 3 months' salary for 3 people to train on this massive piece of equipment that there were, and I'll list the benefits out for you. There was only one job available at the time that this program was going to end, but 3 people got trained on a new piece of equipment. They got trained by the person that makes the equipment. This is in the construction industry, so they got trained by the person that makes the equipment, and they got paid to go through this training program because part of their work was using this piece of equipment, and OJT, right? And so they were able to get 3 months' salary for 3 people to basically learn how to utilize this equipment. What at the end of 90 days, what happened was they not only had 3 people who had increased their marketable skills, they had 1 person who was going to get the job. The other 2 were going to be job market ready. But what it provided was a job that then gave 2 people employment. And the equipment manufacturer saw that happen and elected to donate that second piece of huge equipment. So they bought 1 piece, they got the second piece donated, they provided 3 people with job skills and 2 people with jobs right within their organization. And the third person who was able to say, I now can operate this piece of equipment, was able to immediately get employed by someone else. And they did all of that by fundraising, which had 3 components to it. One was exposure in their local market, because they needed these candidates to go through this program. So they got exposure to the people who would benefit from this. They got exposure to the people who knew that they now had this to be able to do. So there was exposure in the community that could support them with providing work. And then there was exposure in the community of the fundraising community, people who were aligned with what it was that they wanted to do, and people who wanted to support them. And out of it came all of this great stuff. So I say all of that to let my audience know that fundraising for the for-profit business can happen. And I would really task you to think of the strategies. If you can't think of the strategies, one of the things that I want you to know is I'm available to help. There are numerous people out there that can help you to think up the strategies that will allow you to either have your own fundraising opportunity or be a part of a collaborative fundraising opportunity. Now let's talk about that for a minute. What does that look like? Most of us, especially solo entrepreneurs, especially those who are part of chamber organizations or other organizations, see these happen in the way of fairs or spa days or collaborative efforts like that, where you've got a collection of mainly holistic practitioners that come together to introduce themselves to the greater audience. Exposure, to let those people know what it is that they provide. Exposure to your potential customer, exposure to your potential new collaborators, and then exposure to the people who can contribute in one way or another. And funds is not the only way that contributions occur. So someone now says, ah, you're the person who does work in this special way for Parkinson's, for people with Parkinson's. If you had not been a part of this collaborative opportunity, I may never have found you. Now I know you. Now I know that I can get help for my mom, my dad, my aunt, sister, whomever. That's not directly me, but it is directly me if that's a close family person or a direct associate. So the fundraising philosophy allows for a lot of opportunity. And I want for-profit business owners to really think about what kind of doors might be opened for you when you start thinking about how can I build a fundraising opportunity into my business, into what it is that I can do. Who is it that I might be able to collaborate with for a fundraising opportunity that could potentially bring additional funds, additional customers, additional connections to other customers into my business. And that's the benefit of fundraising.
Wow. I would have never thought that you could as a for-profit business. I think a lot of people are totally unaware of that option.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really very, very interesting. I think there's lots of ways to explore that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
I understand that you have something to share with your audience. You want to share something with them.
I do. You know, my tagline is empowering individuals and businesses to soar. You know, the whole Skyhawk philosophy was built around the hawk in flight, in its power, soaring, and bringing, for me, it meant bringing others with me. It also means opening doors. You know, one of my favorite books is Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And if you've ever read...
I can't believe that. Mine too.
And if any of our audience has ever read that book, I have to tell you that that impacted me so deeply, to see Jonathan fly so high for so long, even to know that, you know, he crash landed a few times and had to spend some time healing before he could get back in flight. But that was part of his emerging into the strength of who Jonathan Livingston Seagull really was. And he knew that there was more to his life and more to the lives of others than being on the beach, clucking around and fighting each other for dead fish. He knew that there was live, delicious, fat food out there. All he had to do was go and get it. And he thought out of the box. He acted out of the box. And it was truly to his benefit, but it was the example for others to follow him. And that's what I want to bring to my audience. And so part of that is the book project, but part of it is also the BIZ Info Zone shows. Part of it is the BIZ Info Zone. So I've created the BIZ Info Zone. It is a membership site, and it is in the final stages of creation, but I wanted to offer this up because there's only a select amount of people who are going to get into this groundbreaking opportunity where you will not only have an opportunity to get in the BIZ Info Zone membership site, but you'll be a member and you'll be able to participate in so many things, getting access to great bonus offers, access to archived and recorded interviews, get free access or huge discounts to workshops and programs and webinars and so much more. Programs that I could list them off for you, but you're going to want to see what's available to you when it comes about. So you may even get an opportunity to get interviewed yourself on one of the BIZ Info Zone shows as a business expert, or if you're an author. One of the segments of the BIZ Info Zone shows is emerging into the BIZ Info Zone. Your book is your business. And we'll be featuring authors, we'll be featuring the books that they've written, and we'll actually be featuring them to build them up and on a platform to reach bestseller. So with that, I wanted to put that information out there, but I also want our audience to get something as it relates to the fundraising that I was talking to. I've written a white paper, a free report, and it's called What's Missing from Your Fundraising Campaigns. And in it I outline the 7 biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make trying to build a fundraising campaign. Now, at the end of the show, on this page, as well as at BIZ Info Zone, Skyhawk Enterprises, where you can find the BIZ Info Zone page, you will find the link to download this free report. And you'll get some seriously great info on how you can build successful fundraising campaigns, whether you're a for-profit business or a non-profit business, because one of the things talks about the collaborative effort. So that's that, Trish. Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for inviting me to be a guest interviewer on your show. It's probably the first time I've been invited to be a guest interviewer, and it's great. It's fun.
Oh, I'm so glad. I can't tell you the number of people that I interview that, have all the butterflies going on and stuff. And it's neat to see when people actually come on the show how much fun we have, even if I'm doing most of the talking or they're doing most of their talking. I always like to make it fun, and making it fun for my audience is really key to helping to integrate the information. And it has truly been a pleasure having you on to help host the show and interview me. Thank you so much.
And I love it when you do most of the talking. So I'm going to turn it all back over to you.
Thank you, Trish. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And to our audience, thank you for joining us today. Trish and I have had a blast being with you. You are actually in store for so much really great stuff that's coming. And thank you again for being here today. You've been on the BIZ Info Zone show in the BIZ Info Zone. It's the place where the savvy social entrepreneur gets the news, the info, the tools and strategies, and more to help you express your purpose, plan your next moves, and take your business and life into prosperity. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Remember, keep your eye out on this event page and visit us at skyhawkenterprises.biz. Check out the BIZ Info Zone show, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you again real soon. Now, next week, before you go, really quickly, next week we've got 2 shows for you. So make sure that you keep an eye out on what's going on, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Bye.